So at the beginning of the movie, we see a desert where a group of Arab smugglers is actively hunting spiders. One of the smugglers discovers a spider's lair and promptly calls the others to come over. Together, they decide to release poisonous gas into the lair to exterminate the spiders. However, during this process, one of the spiders leaps onto one of the men and bites him. The sight of this causes the other spiders to flee the lair in a panic. The smugglers, seizing the opportunity, capture the fleeing spiders in plastic containers. Meanwhile, the bitten man is left writhing in agony from the spider bite, and his suffering is mercifully ended by his companion, who uses a machete to put him out of his misery. The scene transitions to Ali's shop, where Ali is known for selling a diverse range of items. Caleb, a regular customer who deals in sneakers and has a keen interest in exotic animals, comes into the shop looking for earrings for his neighbor. Initially, Caleb does not find anything that piques his interest and asks Ali to show him other items. Ali then leads Caleb to the back room of the shop, where Caleb is astonished to find numerous containers holding exotic animals. Among these is the very spider from the desert. Despite Ali's warning that this spider is highly poisonous and dangerous, Caleb dismisses the warning and decides to purchase the spider along with the earrings. Caleb then returns to his home, a large gray building situated in a rough neighborhood. Upon arriving at his apartment, Caleb decides to assist the janitor by moving a trash can. This action leads to an explosion caused by a firecracker that the local teenagers had planted inside the trash can. Upset by this, Caleb grabs the backpack containing the firecrackers from one of the teenagers and scolds him for his reckless behavior. Later, Caleb meets with his friend Matisse in the sneaker storage room, and they work on new orders for their business. After finishing their work, Caleb returns to his apartment where he lives with his sister Manon. Following their mother's death, he sets up heat lamps for his pets and temporarily places the newly acquired spider in a leaky shoebox. Caleb and Manon soon have an argument because Manon has turned off the heat lamps to save on electricity. Manon needs money for repairs and is considering selling the apartment to get a better price, but Caleb vehemently refuses to sell, insisting that the apartment is a cherished reminder of their childhood and their mother. Later, Caleb attends a farewell party for his neighbor Claudia, who is moving out of the building. On his way to the party, Caleb encounters Tamani, who urgently needs his order of new sneakers because his old ones are in poor condition. Caleb explains that he will provide the new sneakers once he finds a new, intact box, as the original one is unusable. At the party, Caleb gives Claudia the earrings and enjoys the event. Meanwhile, the poisonous spider escapes from the leaky shoebox and starts to roam freely. When Caleb returns home, he finds that the heat lamps for his pets have been turned off again. He apologizes to his pets and prepares to relocate the spider to a more secure enclosure. To his horror, he discovers that the spider has disappeared. In its place, he finds a strange cocoon among his butterfly collection. Caleb decides to take Tamani's sneakers and sleep in the living room, planning to search for the spider later. The following morning, he is awakened by the disruptive sound of a drill and goes to his sister's bathroom to confront her about the noise. There, he discovers that Manon is with her friend Lila, her boyfriend, and Caleb's former friends Jordy and Mathis, who are all helping with the repairs. Mathis hands Caleb a new box for the sneakers. Caleb then heads to the basement to deliver Tamani's order. While there, he encounters Gilles, a suspicious resident who suspects Caleb of dealing illegal substances rather than selling sneakers. Gilles is unable to find any evidence of wrongdoing and leaves, warning that he will keep an eye on Caleb. Returning to his apartment, Tamani, who has put on the new sneakers, suffering from a spider bite. Despite Tamani's efforts to kill the spider, more spiders emerge from the shoes and attack him, resulting in his death while his dog, observing from a distance, eats the crushed spider. Meanwhile, Caleb returns to find Jordy, Mathis, Lila, and Manon examining his exotic animal collection. He forcibly ejects them from the room and locks it, using a cloth to seal the door in an attempt to contain the spider. Unbeknownst to him, the spider has already escaped and begun reproducing. Residents, led by Gilles, break into Tamani's apartment and find his lifeless body. They call the police, who assure everyone that there are no infections and advise them, including those not living in the building, to monitor their health. Caleb notices Tamani's sneakerless foot and grows suspicious of the true cause of death. Later, Caleb, Manon, and their friends gather in the apartment to discuss Tamani's sudden death. They struggle to understand how such a rapid disease development could occur. Manon suggests that Gilles might be correct and Caleb might be involved in drug trafficking, which deeply hurts Caleb. Jordy insists that the death does not appear to be an overdose. Meanwhile, the janitor, while cleaning Tamani's apartment, discovers the bathroom covered in spider webs. She uses insect spray in an attempt to kill the spiders, but this action causes even more spiders to emerge. In a bid to escape the insecticide, the spiders crawl through the ventilation shaft into Lila's bathroom. Lila, who is washing her hands, notices the ventilation cover has fallen and tries to fix it, but slips and falls. As she gets up and lifts a towel on the door, she finds nothing there but is soon attacked by a spider. She locks herself in the shower and pleads with Jordy to kill the spider. Jordy, however, is reluctant to kill the spider and tries to catch it instead. This sparks a heated argument among the friends about whether to kill or catch the spider. The spider eventually disappears under the furniture, and Jordy uses a mop to lure it out. When the spider reappears on the shower door, Jordy covers it with a towel, drops it on the floor, and steps on it, only to reveal that the spider has multiplied into numerous smaller ones. The spiders then begin to emerge from the drain, causing Lila to panic. She rushes out of the shower into the hallway, and the friends seal off the bathroom entrance to prevent the spiders from escaping. Jordy and Mathis suspect that the spider came from Caleb's room. Despite Caleb's initial denial, he admits to buying a spider, but insists it was much smaller and only one. Mathis points out that spiders can grow significantly in hostile environments. Jordy notices that the butterflies in a frame are covered in cobwebs. Caleb explains that he found a cocoon there and insists that his spider should have died without the heat. Jordy cautiously asks to see the cocoon. Caleb hands over the shoebox containing the cocoon. Jordy opens the box and the friends quickly seal it with tape. Meanwhile, the janitor discovers a massive spider-infested cobweb in Tamani's bathroom ceiling, with a bird trapped in it. She climbs a ladder to spray poison into the ceiling tiles, but is attacked by a spider and falls off the ladder, rolling down the stairs. Caleb and his friends seal all the gaps in the apartment and decide they need to escape, despite the police's quarantine orders. They try to warn their neighbors, but many do not take their warnings seriously or refuse to open their doors. Caleb and Mathis attempt to reach Claudia, but find her asleep in a chair with spiders emerging from her head. They flee Claudia's apartment and come across another neighbor who is already beyond help. Jordy finds online information identifying the spiders as belonging to the Charday family, whose offspring can grow up to 10 times larger than the mother in the presence of predators. The spiders continue to multiply, attacking nearly all the building's residents. Caleb and Mathis return to find Jordy, Mathis, Lila, and Manon inspecting the spider-infested apartment. Desperate to escape, Caleb and his friends decide to use flashlights and firecrackers to illuminate their way and climb to the roof. They navigate through the building, and upon reaching the stairs, Caleb lights and throws a Molotov cocktail to create a diversion. They rush up the stairs and take refuge in Gila's apartment to rest. Caleb notices Lila standing by an open window and reflects on a past conflict with Jordy over an iguana bite incident. Several police officers enter the apartment, aiming their weapons at the group. Caleb grabs a gun and shoots one officer, which leads to their capture and handcuffing. As they are taken to the parking lot, they see the police destroying the spider bodies. Caleb accuses the police of causing Jordy's death, but the lieutenant defends the quarantine decision. Mathis, feeling increasingly unwell, reveals a spider bite on his neck to Caleb. Realizing that Mathis is doomed, Caleb decides to help the others escape. He quietly sneaks to the generator and turns it off, then opens the door to the dangerous corridor. Thousands of spiders pour into the parking lot, overwhelming the police, who struggle to fend them off. Caleb and Lila take shelter in a van, and they later escape in Lila's car. Caleb, injured but determined, manages to open the gates. A few days later, a memorial is held by the now uninhabitable building, which is slated for demolition. Mano and Lila watch from a distance as the building is brought down. Caleb buries a shoebox containing a childhood photo in the woods, and as he finishes, notices a spider on his shoulder. Instead of panicking, he calmly places the spider on a fallen tree and reflects on the harrowing experience, now contemplating the traumatic events he has endured. What would you do if you were in their place? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.